Do you have a friend who always wants to meet over dinner or drinks at a restaurant? Or someone who is constantly booking massages or nail salon appointments? Or someone who gives you expensive gifts on birthdays and anniversaries that almost makes it mandatory for you to do the same? And the worst of it all, the friend who buys Tesla and brags about it in the group, and then another friend buys it. Now you are feeling the peer pressure of getting a Tesla yourself. Sounds familiar? It's true for most of us. So what should you do? Should you be like the 36% of Gen Z and millennials who have actually dumped their friends to avoid getting sucked into the lifestyle creep? Or are there other alternatives that will allow you to keep the friendship that you value without sacrificing your financial well-being? Let's explore. If you are unfamiliar with the term, lifestyle creep is when your expenses increase as your income rises. It's that shaky phenomena when you start splurging on things you once considered luxury, most often because your friends are also doing it. It can be tempting to think that your friends are responsible for this, and ditching them is the ultimate solution. But is it really? Before we delve into the risk, let's acknowledge the benefits of surrounding ourselves with financially successful friends. First and foremost, being in the company of friends who have achieved financial success can be very inspiring. Their achievements can serve as constant reminder of what is possible and inspire us to strive to reach the same goals. See, when we see someone close to us achieving great things, it lights some sort of fire within ourselves to try and achieve similar financial success. Additionally, wealthy friends often have valuable knowledge and experience to share. They may have gone through similar financial hurdles, made mistakes, and learned along the way. By maintaining these friendships, we can tap into their wisdom, potentially gaining insights which can fast track our own financial success. Learning from the experience of others can help us avoid making those costly mistakes. However, it is important to consider the risk associated with lifestyle creep and the influence of wealthy friends. See, when we are constantly surrounded by other people who are spending extravagantly, it becomes easier for us also to fall into that trap and start overspending. Peer pressure can be a powerful force, and it's not unusual for our own desire to start aligning with the peer group that we interact with. And before we know it, we get caught up in this never-ending cycle of trying to catch up, often at expense of our own financial well-being. Picture this: you're chilling with your friends, just having a good time, then suddenly somebody drops a subtle hint about that latest piece of gadget or the new restaurant that just opened up. Next thing you know, you're swiping your credit card without even thinking twice. Well, according to this Credit Karma study, looks like many adults are falling into this same very trap, and the consequences are far from pretty. Millennials, who are little further along in their careers and are generally in the costliest season of their life, are harder by this issue. A whooping 88% of millennials who have a spendy friend confess that being with that friend has pushed them into debt. And get this, 15% of these millennials report being in debt, so they are spending money that they simply don't have. It is clear that the influence of friends on our spending habits is a real challenge for many young adults. It's no wonder that many young adults are feeling the pressure to try and avoid lifestyle creep, especially when so many of them are living paycheck to paycheck. When you're trying to save money and build a solid financial foundation, having a friend who constantly nudges you to spend money can almost feel like a never-ending battle. Millennials often find themselves in major life transitions, whether it is getting promotions at work, getting married, or starting family. These pivotal moments can create financial tensions between friends, and that's when the influence of spendy friends tends to peak. But it's not just the positive transition that impact our financial norm. Even challenging situations like layoff or medical emergency can really challenge the dynamics within the friend group. Let's face it, millennials have faced their own share of financial hurdles, from two recessions to crushing student debt to ever-increasing cost of living. Building some real wealth has always seemed like an unattainable dream for them ever since they started working. The debt burden that millennials carry is simply overwhelming, even though that they keep trying to make up the lost financial ground. And guess what? The pandemic has only increased the wealth gap between generations. So it's no wonder that many responded to the same study reported falling in the trap of lifestyle creep due to friendship. They simply don't want to feel left out, or yearn to match their friends' lifestyle, or simply want to just please the whole group. It's important to recognize that succumbing to the influence of spendy friends does not make somebody irresponsible or weak. Many young adults genuinely struggle working out the dynamics of the relationship and setting boundaries. The desire to fit in and maintain friendship often outweighs appropriate financial outcomes. So what can we do to break from this cycle? Well, the first step is awareness. Acknowledge the impact of peer pressure and societal expectations on your financial decisions. It's okay to prioritize your own financial well-being and set boundaries that align with your own goals. Turns out, For some individuals, the solution is simple. Cut off the friendship with those spendy friends and stick to friends with similar spending habits as you. But here is when it gets interesting. In that Credit Karma study, about 47% of Gen Z would consider doing something similar, ending the friendship to avoid lifestyle creep, whereas only about 37% of millennials will consider doing the same. It is clear that the impact of spendy friends as well as our reaction to it can vary across generations. Digging deeper into the study, we found that a significant number of respondents felt that it is important for their friends to earn about as much as they do. 1/3 of Gen Z and about 29% of millennials emphasize the need of income parity among friends. It seems financial compatibility plays a role in our relationship and influencing our spending dynamics. However, we should not overlook the potential consequences of ending friendships solely based on spending habits. Sometimes these could lead to unintended consequences. Talking openly and frankly with our friends about our finances may be a better option. Having open conversation about money can alleviate some of the stress associated with financial differences among friends. By discussing our financial goals, situations, priorities, we tend to develop a deeper understanding of each other's perspective. These conversations can foster empathy and mutual support, which in turn can make the friendship more strong and resilient. Wait, there is more. Do you know that almost a quarter of millennials tend to keep their income and debts a secret? Why, you ask? Well, it turns out they're trying to avoid getting a judgment from their friend. Yeah, financial transparency can often be challenging when you're worried about how others will judge you. But here is the twist. Social media plays a significant role in making this issue even worse. We have all been there, scrolling through the post and stumbling upon those posts from our friends which are flaunting luxurious vacation, expensive watches, latest gadgets. It's enough to cause anxiety and add enough pressure to try and follow suit. However, here is the shocking truth. According to a Bankrate survey, most people who make an impulse purchase after going through their social media feed actually end up regretting that purchase. It's a classic case of keeping up with digital Joneses gone wrong. Now let's talk about where our hard-earned cash is actually going. According to the same Credit Karma study, both millennials and Gen Z pointed to dining out as one of their major expenses. Now, who can resist those mouth-watering treats and tantalizing meals? No wonder it's a common spending temptation. But that's not all. The list of expensive habits continues with clothes, drinks, vacations, and trips. These are the areas where money seems to be slipping through our hands just like sand. And interestingly, our Gen Z friends have also added self-care expenses like massages and nail care to their list of expenses. It seems engaging in pampering is an essential part of their financial equation. It seems many Americans have fallen into the trap of overspending, whether it is on flashy clothes, extravagant jewelry, or luxury cars, all in an attempt to impress their peers. But here is the catch. It often results in a struggle with debt. It's a vicious cycle and it affects people across income spectrum. The desire to keep up with others is a powerful force. It does not discriminate based on your financial status. In fact, higher income earners often face increased pressure to maintain their appearance. With more cash at their disposal, the temptation to splurge and show off can be very hard to resist. Sadly, this pursuit of social acceptance can lead to financial turmoil. A word of advice: take a step back and consider the psychological factors at play. As humans, we tend to conform to social norms, often at our great personal expense. A fascinating study done by Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia in 2018 highlighted the importance of social influence on financial decisions. It found that neighbors of lottery winners, after seeing their neighbors' newfound wealth, were more likely to witness their own financial downfall, often resulting in bankruptcy. It's evident that spending excessively just to keep appearances is a financially detrimental move. What's even more alarming is that those spendy friends that we are trying to emulate may themselves be struggling with debt. It's often a sobering reminder that grass is not always greener on the other side. So then what's the answer? Should we just dump our wealthy friends to avoid this lifestyle creep? Well, not so fast. See, instead of judging people solely by their net worth, we should evaluate them more for their values and their money habits. Choosing friends who share similar money values can be a big game changer. Look for individuals who prioritize financial responsibility, investing, saving. Such friends can serve as positive influences, reinforcing good money habits and influencing you to stay on track yourself. It is true, it takes away that excuse. I know how tempting it is to spend lavishly, irresponsibly, and then turn around and just have somebody to blame, like your friend. I know. Now let's take a step back and think about it. Does it mean that we need to cut our ties altogether with our spendy friends? Well, it's not that black and white. Instead, it's about realizing the influence that they have on our spending habit and finding effective ways to manage it. While it's crucial to prioritize on our own financial well-being, it's also important to have an open conversation with our friends. Share your financial goals and aspirations. Who knows, your spendy friend might simply be unaware of the impact that their habits, their influence is having on your wallet. By opening up, you may be able to find a middle ground and support each other rather than going overboard and terminating the friendship itself. Remember, it's all about finding a balance. Surround yourself with friends who inspire you to achieve financial success and encourage you to have responsible spending habits. Seek out those people who understand the importance of investing and saving for the future. Together, you can create a supportive circle that can inspire and motivate each other on the financial journey. So as we wrap up this eye-popping discussion, remember that the true financial well-being is not trying to impress others or trying to conform to societal pressure. It's about making informed choices that aligns with our own values and goals. Breaking free from the cycle of overspending is crucial, regardless of our income level. Don't let the pressure of keeping up with others ruin your financial well-being. I would love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Did you have a spendy friend that you felt pressured into keeping up with? Let me know. And if you need some help in managing your money better, check out my other video about leveraging the tax loopholes to avoid paying tax or at least reducing your tax significantly. It's here.